Motorcycle USA recently rode down to Carmel, California for the third annual Quail Motorcycle Gathering. The gathering serves as an avenue for motorcycle collectors and enthusiasts to showcase immaculately restored vintage and historically significant motorcycles. The day before the gathering, we participated in the Quail Motorcycle Ride, a 110-mile ride through beautiful Carmel Valley and the Monterey Peninsula. Brian Harley here, about to participate in the Quail Motorcycle Ride. Great vintage bikes here. Let's check out a few. The hands of time were turned back as vintage motorcycles were kick-started to life for a rollicking ride through the countryside. The next day, anticipation was high for the start of the concours. Going to be lots of just killer historical, vintage, classic, historically significant bikes here. The bike whose unveiling created the most buzz was the Black Falcon. Sourcing an engine from the vaunted Vincent Black Shadow, Ian Barry has spent the last year creating his latest masterpiece around that engine. Its frame, fork, brakes, tanks, bars, controls, and seat were all made by Falcon Motorcycles. And this doesn't even account for the minute details that make this bike an instant classic.
I'm Ian Barry and from Falcon Motorcycles, and this is our latest creation, the Black Falcon. From design to actually seeing it here, it's been about 2 years. It's my interpretation of a motorcycle built around this, amazing Vincent engine. Keeping really true to the hardcore engineering that existed in the 50s. For its day, it was really ahead of its time. But then, knowing what I know now, modernizing elements, but not taking away from any of the aesthetic property or value of the original.
SoCal Speed Shop, who has carved out a reputation for itself building hot rods, introduced a ripping street tracker called the Miler, which sources an 865cc Triumph Bonneville twin, whose cylinder heads have been ported, has a lighter flywheel, and is tuned to pump out a claimed 78 horsepower. Ducati also unveiled a special edition of the Multistrada at the gathering. The new Multistrada 1200S Pikes Peak Special Edition is dressed up in plenty of carbon fiber bits and was built to honor Greg Tracy's victory in the 2010 Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. The motorcycles entered in the concours were as varied and creative as their owners. Guest judges had their hands full, as many bikes were worthy of the vaunted Best of Show title, but it was the Rolls-Royce of motorcycles, an immaculate 1938 Bro Superior SS80 owned by Gene Brown out of Colorado, which took top laurels. Other highlights of the gathering included a special appearance by the Vincent HRD Black Lightning Raleigh Free rode at Bonneville to a world record of 150.3 miles per hour. Known as the John Edgar Lightning, the motorcycle is the one featured in the iconic shot of Raleigh Free laying straight out in a bathing suit while he blasts down the salt flats. The gavel of the Bonhams and Butterfields auctioneer was busy in the Quail Lodge's upstairs ballroom, where Steve McQueen's 1971 Husqvarna 400 Cross sold for a record $144,500. The third annual Quail Motorcycle Gathering was a roaring success. The event had an excellent turnout, both in the number of people attending and in the number of bikes entered in the show. We tip our hat to the passionate people who have painstakingly restored these vintage collectibles to their former glory.